Hello everybody. Wow, eh? Don't post anything for 4 months and then just post every day. There's a reason behind that. I'm unstable. What can I say? Right. So last week we did the Saxo, stripping it down ready for these parts that are coming for it. So like it's 2026 revamp, say, improvements. I put a video up of this Sierra going around Kerborough, which was last month, and for some time I've been, is the engine shagged, is the engine not shagged? Still runs strong, it still goes all right, but on boost it's letting oil past the rings. I've got enough experience to know what I'm seeing, and the engine's 15-year-old build now, so it was smoking me out in the cab, and that's why there's not much footage from Kerborough and stuff, because most stuff was abandoned. And then what footage I did have, you could see smoke coming in the cab with me on the camera angles. The windows was down and that, but I'm just going to get the whole we know better than you brigade coming at me in the comments going, you're getting carbon monoxide poisoning and all that shite to me, as if I didn't know. I was tasting it, so fuck off. But anyway, it's Monday. We were supposed to come in at weekend, me and my pal, who's Salika's down the end of the yard there, and it didn't happen again. My pal got on the sauce, and I don't need much of an excuse not to come on a weekend these days. So Monday is always pandemonium over at this place, which is nothing to do with cars, it's the day job. But it's 4 o'clock now, everything's done. We knock off about 5, 6 from here, we don't start till 8. So I've got an hour and a half now, because I've got a little process to do in the building after. So I've got an hour and a half now. So let's start, make a little start towards getting the engine out on this. And the script with this is, I've got another one built to the exact spec that I built that one to 15 years ago. Completely brand new, ready to go, sat on a pallet in shrink wrap. It's about 200 brake, same as this one that's coming out. And then I do have another one upstairs that I've shown you before, that we built to a different spec. Won't bore you with it here, but this one can make about 350 brake. And it's not pie in the sky, that. If you want to quiz me about that, I can explain how it can do that. So I'm tempted to put that in this, because it's been sat there a while and it needs using. But the reason I don't want to go with the big power is, this has a welded diff, which has held for all these years with this power, and you know, it's drivable. And then also it has a Type 9 gearbox on it. It's on its second Type 9 gearbox, because I blew first up pulling off the line with it. So Type 9s, they're not massively strong. Once you start going over 200 brake horsepower, you start having problems with them, especially if you shock load them like drag racing like I've done, or just leaving the line on a sprint, which is how I blew first gear up on the last gearbox. That's what smashed the windscreen as well. You'll notice the windscreen's terribly smashed on this car. It was when the gearbox first exploded, the force was that brutal going through the car, it cracked the windscreen, it smashed the windscreen. So it's got a different box in it now. So I'm thinking, just get that off the phone. Stupid insurance man trying to rip me off. So I'm thinking now, going with the 200 brake horsepower engine, because if I put the higher powered one in, we're into looking for the gearbox. And gearbox options on these is, you can uprate a Type 9, technical, cost money, time consuming. You can get yourself a T5 off a Cosworth, very expensive, and not all that strong anyway for like track driving and abuse. But that would be one way of doing it. And then like the third option is, you can make a master box fit, but they've not got exactly great ratios for the boosted pinto and stuff. So yeah, we'll worry about which one of the power units we're going to put in, but first we'll start on doing this. So without further ado, let's move the truck and start cracking on. And we're going to do it not on the ramp, we're not going to do it in the garage, we're going to do it outside on the floor and off the back of the truck again, because we just love the punishment, we love the pain, we live for it. Let's go.
I'm tired, boss.
Just pop the bonnet on this, man. Someone just called me and just was on the phone for 45 minutes. This is how I lose time. like, I know this is smoking and the engine wants a rebuild, but it was also running really bad at Kerber, and I said it in the short video I put up that it ain't running right, and I was chasing things all day wondering what it was, and I've just noticed this crude blank was longer than that, and had a plug in the end of it, and it snapped. Look, so that's just fully open to atmosphere. So we had a boost leak, so that's why it was running like dog shit. We had the boost leak, but I don't think that's definitely not why it's smoking. So I mean, it's smoking a lot. It's the ring's gone, I think. I'll just put a fresh one in and rebuild this engine up. So it's still going to carry on pulling it apart, but yeah, that's what it is. And I mean, look how crude it is. Do you know what I mean? But that's my style. You know, I'm called Rock Bottom Driver. The clue's in the title. I'm rough. Right then, we timed that, and that took precisely 1 hour, and it's ready to lift out. All I've got to do is undo the bonnet tomorrow, calling it a day now. I've got a 20-minute process to do at work, then we're going home. So I'm just going to leave it like that overnight, but it's all undone off the box. Every cable's off it, every wire's off it, every ancillary's off it that won't lift with it. So I'm just going to undo the bonnet tomorrow, roll it down off of this now, and you can see the engine mounts aren't even fastened now, and we'll just lift it out, and that's that. Smoky Joe's coming out. That's the end of that one. And then I've been analysing it as I go. Years ago when we drag race it, I turned my back on my dad for 2 minutes, answered a call to someone, and ended up getting stuck on the phone, as I often do. My dad used to do banger racing, and we were stripping this out to go drag racing years ago, and he stripped it as if we were going banger racing, and he got rid of everything. And so we just taped it up. So all these years it's just been taped up. But like when something fails, like that exhaust, I'm going to show it you in a minute actually. I think Mark might have put it away, but the exhaust's covered in a wrap, so I won't show it you. The exhaust is covered in a wrap. I'm going to take all that wrap off and study that exhaust, check that there's no holes in that, and then when the engine's out and I can get in this bay big enough to play a game of football, nothing needs welding in here or repairing structurally, but what I'm going to do is have a concerted effort of blocking up all these holes properly. So I'm either going to get some steel, tack it on and seal it all up, or I've got a lot of aluminium lying around as well. Might make aluminium covers, same thing, rivet them down, and seal them all up with mastic or something, and that way we've got some holes over there where wires and pipes come through, so that way if we ever have an engine failure again or puffing smoke out, it ain't coming into the cab on the driver. Because like when it was taped up, we took there's a nut here, Mark, sorry for that box. Yeah, when we took it drag racing, we was planning on drag racing on the Friday and Saturday, returning home on the Sunday, pulling the engine out and weighing it in on the Monday. But that was a long old time ago, like 12 years ago or something. So yeah, it's high time I took the fucking tape off, really, innit? Exhaust. The other engine I've got built up already has a turbo manifold on, and it's a brand new, freshly rebuilt turbo. This is old and dicey, so the chances are that this is going to be different anyway, so I'll probably make a new exhaust. And I might not come out across the bulkhead and out the wing this time. I might come back out, I might come down at the bottom here, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that smoke was horrendous at Kerbera, and it weren't coming out the exhaust, to be honest with you. When I was looking at it, it was coming out the breathers. So this is what's telling me a ring's gone. Like if it was to run now and we just had that off there, you just see it pumping out like Thomas the Tank Engine. So it's a ring, it's definitely a ring. So that's that. So there we go, another video, another shit box stripped down, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. And I'll make a video as and when I can, but I'm not going to fuck about. If I get any free time tomorrow, which it's looking, we're on online retailer, so we never know for sure. But like, if it goes easy tomorrow, that's coming out, and then I'm going to rebuild this and I'm going to strip it down, and then there's another video. Let's have a look at it, see if I'm right about the rings and that. But I'm going to build it up. But there's no point me building it up on standard internals as it was, so I may as well build it up on uprated internals with turbo in mind and go from there, make a good motor out of it again. But I got a bit of sentimental value with that motor, because it used to be in my Cortina years back, like years and years back, like getting on for 15 years. And it didn't have a turbo on it then, and I used to, you know, I've been London in it, I've been Wales, I've been Scotland, I've been all over the country. I used to use it as a daily commuter for about 3 years. I was putting ridiculous mileage on this Cortina. I was putting like up to 1,000 miles a week on it. So that engine's done thousands and thousands of miles. So you can't really grumble, can you? You know, I've tried the more modern engines and that. Well, they're not even modern. The 90s twin cams that everyone's so keen on, red tops, Z-Techs, that type of shit, and they just don't take what I throw at them unless you build them up like proper. But if you're going to start spending that money, you could have a far superior engine, couldn't you? The only one I've not had a dabble off with yet is the Saab B204, I think it's called. But I used to have a lot of Saabs back in the day, Saab turbos and that, and they're cut from a different cloth. They're built strong like Beamers and stuff like that. So yeah, but I like my Pintos. I got loads of them. I know where I am with them, and they're the right kind of motor that should be in the cars, aren't they? So that's the end of this exciting installment of Rockbox Driver. I'm going to say it. Catch you later.